A new spatial and urban planning paradigm for Australia is the result of the global servicisation boom. We haven't had, for example, in Australian history, we have never had a surplus of services being exported internationally. We have a prospect in 2017 for the first time of actually being a net exporter of services. Now, the new paradigm does two things. Firstly, it understands that the urban planning paradigm we need to utilise is to grow export services. And the paradigm seeks to inherently say, what is it about the attributes of international education? What is it about the attributes of international tourism? What is it about the health and medical industries? What's the plan that sits behind those? And then how do you link those together so that 1 + 1 = 3? Now, because our cities are so immature, young and growing so quick, by international standards, Australian cities are the fastest growing cities in the world, in the developed world. We have an opportunity to be able to reframe our cities. In other words, not just grow them, reframe them. And so a good example of that would be both Melbourne and Sydney are forecast to be the same size as Chicago, which is 8.5 million. So Sydney moves from 5 million to 8.5 million. Melbourne moves from 4 to 8.5. Now, we can grow a Melbourne that looks like a Melbourne, or we can grow a Melbourne into a new paradigm. And it's the new paradigm is where we should be headed, because what we should be trying to do is generating the new criteria for the world's best places to live, not the old criteria for the world's most livable cities. And from a spatial perspective, the new paradigm is we don't just want to think about capital cities with growth boundaries around the outsides. The new spatial paradigm is working in the greater urban environment of Australia. In other words, linking places like Sydney to Melbourne and the little towns and the regions inherently. And the spatial paradigm is that's the plan. So in other words, we don't do Plan Melbourne. We don't do a plan for Sydney. We do a plan for the Eastern Seaboard. So it's a new spatial paradigm that understands that globalisation means we can't plan cities around manufacturing and agriculture. And if we don't generate the new paradigm, then we lose.